This most likely refers to Amos 1 and Isaiah 17. Israel's destruction of its neighbors, the third seal, is the second sign of impending doom. Israel's destruction of Damascus is referred to in Isaiah 17. Isaiah 18 then refers back to Isaiah 17 as a sign. The third sign of impending doom comes from Isaiah 18. Isaiah 18 warns of impending doom to a powerful friend of Israel. There is a sign that refers to a nuclear event in Isaiah 17. The shofar is blown. It ends with a seemingly incongruent event, gifts being brought to the new temple on the Temple Mount by the powerful friend of Israel. This last event means that the destruction of America is imminent. Isaiah 17 KJV 17:1 The burden of Damascus. Behold, Damascus is taken away from being a city, and it shall be a ruinous heap. Here we learn that Damascus is destroyed. 17:4 And in that day it shall come to pass, that the glory of Jacob shall be made thin, and the fatness of his flesh shall wax lean. The implication here is that Israel is the destroyer of Damascus. 17:13 The nations shall rush like the rushing of many waters, but God shall rebuke them, and they shall flee far off, and shall be chased as the chaff of the mountains before the wind, and like a rolling thing before the whirlwind. So the nations are rushing like water at Israel. They wish to destroy Israel. God forces them away by destroying their armies. Why do the nations feel that they can attack Israel? Where is America? America is not there. 17:14 And behold that evening tide trouble, and before the morning he is not. This is the portion of them that spoil us, and the log of them that rob us. Something happens at evening time. Probably a chemical attack on Israeli cities by Syria. Israel destroys Damascus by morning. Isaiah 18:1 Woe to the land shadowing with wings, which is beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, a warning to an unknown land that is far away. By the end of this chapter we will learn that this land is a powerful friend of Israel. It is America. 2. That sendeth ambassadors by the sea, even in vessels of bulrushes upon the waters, saying, Go, ye swift messengers, to a nation scattered and peeled, to a people terrible from their beginning hitherto, the nation meted out and trodden down, whose land the rivers have spoiled. Providing us with identity information. Many countries could qualify at this point. 3. All ye inhabitants of the world, and dwellers on the earth, see ye, when he lifteth up an ensign on the mountains, and when he bloweth a trumpet, hear ye. This references Amos 1 and Isaiah 17. When Israel takes the west bank and plants a flag, then watch out. For so the Lord said unto me, I will take my rest, and I will consider in my dwelling place like a clear heat upon herbs, and like a cloud of dew in the heat of harvest. Hints at nuclear war, Amos 1. This is a sign. 5. For the harvest, when the bud is defect, and the sour grape is ripening in the flower, he shall both cut off the sprigs with pruning hooks, and take away and cut down the branches. When a process is just about complete, God stops it with a judgment, Amos 1. 6. They shall be left together unto the fowls of the mountains, and to the beasts of the earth, and the fowl shall summer upon them, and all the beasts of the earth shall winter upon them. Who cares? Amos 1 takes place in the summer. Not much happens through winter. Timing. Spring is the season to watch. 7. In that time shall the present be brought unto the Lord of hosts of a people scattered and peeled, and from a people terrible from their beginning hitherto, the nation meted out and trodden under foot, whose lands the rivers have spoiled, to the place of the name of the Lord of hosts, the Mount Giant. The land is about to get wiped out. Who cares about gifts? Timing. When a powerful friend of Israel, America, brings gifts to the newly rebuilt Jewish temple on the Temple Mount, then destruction is near. Spring is the season. We may learn the very day of destruction when gifts are presented. Read more about Isaiah 18 at the end of this article. The third sign of impending doom is represented by America bringing gifts to the new Jewish temple on the Temple Mount. The fourth seal represents the actual event of America being destroyed. When he opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth living creature say, Come. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse. And its rider's name was Death, and Hades followed him. And they were given authority over the fourth of the earth, to kill with sword and with famine and with pestilence and by wild beasts of the earth. This is an event that we can see. Notice that famine occurs in this seal. That makes it difficult for famine to occur in the third seal. If you are already in a famine, then how do you start a new famine? The seals in context. If you have ever read the seals of Revelation and some of the interpretations, then you get the sense that the seals can be pretty much anything you want them to be. But what would happen if we made a couple of assumptions about the seals as a group? We decided what the group means in general. What a seal means in general. Effectively we decide the context for interpreting all the individual seals. We can easily find out the major events happening in the end times from another source, Nebuchadnezzar's statue. By matching up the seals against these events we can gain critical insight, allowing us to avoid calamity. To get the context we need to go back to the Bible. Let us first go back to Revelation. Read 1:3 Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. This above verse is pretty important. It means that Revelation gives us clues or signs to avoid death. The focus is on signs. Things don't just happen. There are signs before big events. And we must watch for those signs. We can't come up with some interpretations that are effectively useless because we don't know how or when to act on them. We must be able to see world events and be able to understand them in relation to the seals. What exactly makes something a seal? Notice how the seals refer to seeing, as in come and see. We can see the seals open. We will know when they open. The whole world will know something has happened but not necessarily that a seal has opened. Take a look at the seals. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it were the noise of thunder, one of the four beasts saying, Come and see. In this case one could see the event and hear the event. Come and see is used in seals 1-4. And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God. And I saw when he had opened the sixth seal and when he had opened the seventh seal, there was silence in heaven about the space of half an hour. In this case there is nothing to see. We are told to wait for something. If we can't figure out when a seal is opened, then that makes them useless. We have to be able to see the opening. The opening of a seal in Revelation is like opening the seal of an envelope. It requires a singular violent event. It is not like watching paint dry on the wall. For example, many people think that 9/11 was the opening of the second seal. It was a singular violent event that caught the attention of the entire world. Famine would be like paint drying on a wall, so it cannot represent the opening of a seal. The definition of a seal, the singular violent event that will catch the attention of the entire world. When a seal opens you will immediately know it. Seal number 7 is an exception, but it explicitly tells us to wait. The next constraint is that the seals apply to the end times. 1. For the time is at hand from Ref. 1:3. They cannot be opened over hundreds of years because this would be useless information for people living through the end times. If the seals apply to the end times, then it is not unreasonable to assume that they apply to major end-time events. Nebuchadnezzar's statue provides some guidance about major end-time events. In Nebuchadnezzar's statue, the feet contained iron and clay. The toes also contained iron and clay. Most people think the feet represent the rise of the European Empire, and the toes the rise of the final empire. Broadly speaking, this statue covers these events. A. The rise of the EU. Implicitly the fall of the American Empire. B. The fall of the EU Empire. C. The rise of the final 10-part empire. Now we have a set of guideposts showing us the way during the end times. I will show how the seals match these guideposts, and additionally provide important clues about impending doom. The seals are listed at the end of this section. Where are we now? Quite a few people think that the second seal was opened on September 11, 2001. It was a violent act and announced the arrival of Islam. The sword is the sword of Islam. 3. And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, Come and see. For and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. Rabbi Jonathan Ken argues that 9/11 was a sign to wake up America. If America does not come back to God, then an even bigger judgment is coming. Messianic rabbi reveal striking parallels between fall of ancient Israel, America opening in pairs. It turns out that most of the seals are opened in pairs, the sign seal and the catastrophic event seal. The sign seal opens with a relatively small event, then quickly thereafter a catastrophic event seal opens. The sign seal tells us that impending disaster is shortly upon us. It is a warning. You will be blessed if you heed this warning. You get to keep your life. Shortly after the sign seal is opened, the catastrophic event seal will open. It is a massive nuclear event killing hundreds of millions. Why is this true? The catastrophic event seal opens for a reason. It is the sign seal that acts as a catalyst that enables the catastrophic event seal to open. One causes the other. Watch for the sign seal and you will know of impending disaster. This pair logic works for seal 3 and 4, 5 and 6, and 7 and 7 ref. 8:6+. Another pair logic is at work too. It signifies the rise and fall of something, seals 1 and 4, 2 and 7, 4 and 6 and 7 and 7. Seals 1 and 4, rise and fall of American empire. Seals 2 and 7, rise of Islam and warning to America and ultimately its fall. Seals 4 and 6, implicit rise of European empire and fall of European empire. Seal 7 and 7, it starts with the rise of the final Islamic empire and ends with the fall. Let's take a look at how this pair logic works with the seals. Seal 3 and 4. The standard interpretation of the third seal is some kind of famine. However, this interpretation violates the meaning of a seal, a singular violent event. Let's look at a different interpretation. 5 And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, Come and see. And I beheld, and lo a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. 6 And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. The black horse represents mourning. The balances represent the scales of justice. The meaning of wheat and barley can be found in Exodus where God executes judgment on the Pharaoh. The bar was destroyed and the wheat survived. So 1/4 will survive and 3/4 will be destroyed of the people in the region surrounding Israel. Don't hurt Israel. We start off with a nuclear event in the Middle East concerning Israel. There is a war involving Israel, where Israel destroys most of its neighbors with nuclear weapons. This is the third seal. It is a catalyst for the opening of the fourth seal. It is also mentioned in Isaiah 17:7. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, Come and see. 8 And I looked, and behold a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. It is almost certain that this represents a massive nuclear war. Certainly China will be a part of it due to its large population. That implies that America will be too. Additionally, it's hard to believe that China would go to war with America without the help of Russia. Some people believe that this war is referenced in Isaiah 18. In Isaiah 18, a powerful friend of Israel is warned of impending doom. There is an event, probably Isaiah 17, and we are warned to listen for the shofar trumpet because it is an important sign. Then Isaiah 18 finishes with this powerful friend of Israel bringing gifts for the new temple on the Temple Mount. This suggests that powerful friend of Israel will be wiped out shortly within a day or two after the gifts are offered on the Temple Mount. Seals 5 and 6 9 And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God, and for the testimony which they held. 10 And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? 11 And white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them, that they should rest yet for a little season, until their fellow servants also and their brethren, that should be killed as they were, should be fulfilled. The fifth seal represents a small nuclear event. They must wait a little while until the sixth seal opens so their brethren may die in the same manner that they were. The sixth seal finishes the work of the fifth seal. Since the sixth seal probably represents a nuclear event, the fifth seal must too. Also, the event must be a singular violent event. Cutting off heads of Christians is not going to work. The fifth seal probably represents nuclear terrorism. The location is not clear, but Rome is probably high on the list.